Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. And thank you so much for subscribing. Okay. If you are new, consider subscribing. If you are an old comer, thank you so much for supporting Janet Rangi. So, welcome to this video. Today, I'm going to talk about the most promising visas, the most promising visas. And I'm going to talk about this because I've seen them. People call me, and every time they call me, I'm taking my numbers. I love statistics. Okay. All right. So, let me see. If you come, you can leave comments after this. Okay, I'll come and read the comments. But let me start with the most common I've seen. But it's not like most people come on this one, but I feel like it has more success. So if you didn't know it exists, hey, maybe you can consider working with these people. You can consider making friends with these people. You can consider knowing more about these people. Number one is the diplomatic visas. Okay, it's a very quiet visa, but when I talk to people I've seen from many countries, Janet, when she sees something, she'll come and share with you. I've seen people coming on diplomatic visas. Okay, don't worry about the light is too much. Okay, I don't like it, but also my hair makes it so bright, and I'm also breaking out in pimples, so I have to use these things here. Okay, but don't mind me. Okay, just pay attention to the content. Content. Okay, I would like this to be a little bit darker, but I think because of the reflection of the light and the hair. Okay. Anyway, so diplomatic visas are common. So if you know someone in government, you want maybe to consider working in government. You understand? It doesn't mean like people with just with ministers. I think ministries and all that I've seen from many countries. Many countries, people are coming on diplomatic visas. When they reach here, I think they are called G4. They have several. Okay. When they reach here, I don't know that there are so many advantages to use that visa. Me, I'm just here to present to you what I've seen. And most of you think everyone else is going for a visiting visa, everyone else is going for a student visa. That is not true. Diplomatic visas are happening. Okay. It's not just for those people who work in the embassies, but it's for people in government, people who are sent by government. So consider that, learn more about something called diplomatic visas. Number two, okay, let me go to a CID. I've seen so many people now. I think because of the pandemic, they did not have enough people to work. So all these ships, okay, in the Caribbean, Norwegian Airlines, all not airlines, but cruise ships. I meant cruise ships all over in the waters, in the Caribbean, Alaskan, everywhere. They hire from all over the world. I've seen so many people come to me with CID visa. Until now, it has become normal for me. Unfortunately, CID visas, if you come here, those are transit visas. So if you come to me, say, Janet, but I want to learn more about changing status and staying here permanently, it is not possible. You understand? It is not possible unless you came on that and you fear persecution. You understand? But transit visas are strictly for the cruise ship. They pick you in the airport, you go to the cruise. From the cruise, you go back home. But I'm just telling you that I've been seeing a lot of that. So if you didn't know, people are coming on what? CID visas. They are very common. Why do I say that? Because Janet receives phone calls from all over the world. Okay. In fact, some of them said, it's getting it. It's very easy. You have to know how to swim. They will take you for this training here. Like in Kenya, they will take you to Mombasa. You know how to swim or things like those. So if you're one of those people who is jobless, I'm seeing a lot of CID visas. So people are making money. If you think there are no jobs, if you think that people are struggling, people are not struggling like you. People have jobs. Okay, so go consider after this, go and read about what? CID visas. Go and read about jobs on the cruise ships. You understand? But that again, as I said, most people come to me and I hear about these visas, but most of the time I cannot help them to change status because that is a transit visa. Okay, it's a US visa, you get it through the embassy. Okay, even Canada is doing it. But it is not something you can use, change status, and enjoy more benefits when you come on it. You understand? Okay. So, having said that, another common visa, which I think is very easy, that most of you have not considered and have presented this one. I see so many people coming on this is the M1 visa. Why is the M1 visa? It is cheap. M1 visa is cheaper than student visa. When a student visa is going for 30,000 US dollars per year, sometimes an M1 visa is just 9,000 or 5,000. Okay. And what is an M1 visa? Of course, it's a vocational visa. You understand? You do not have to get credit. By that, I mean, if you come on F1 student visa, you have to show up in class and they will grade you A. B plus. You understand? They will give you a GPA, and in the end, you will graduate. But if you come on an M1 visa, it's a vocational course. You will learn the skills. You will learn the skills, and then you do not even have to have grades. After graduation, I think you have only 6 months to stay around for internship, and then you have to exit. Again, the disadvantage of this visa, people come to me, and unfortunately, we are not able to change. And I will keep reading, but me, when I present, that is the best knowledge I have at that particular time. We cannot change unless you have other issues that you can use that visa. You are supposed to just come and see what is here and make use of whatever you saw and go back. I'm just telling you, I don't know how you use that visa, but I'm just telling you the pros and the cons. It's a very easy visa. It is cheap. It is offered in many schools, M1 visa. I've seen people coming on M1 visa. In fact, that one you choose courses that are not common. And I will talk about that. I will summarize with that, because in the end, the reason why I'm doing this video is to open our eyes, okay? To start thinking beyond that student visa, to start thinking beyond that visiting visa, to start thinking beyond that J1 visa. You understand? M1 visa, people that come maybe to fly. People that choose M1 and they choose to become pilots, or they choose to fly. That is a skill that people know is not home. You understand? There are these unique courses that you have to consider to pass through that embassy. All right? Flying is one of them. I've seen people that get scholarships. One of them called me and I thought about it. I'm like, interesting. She was coming on a scholarship for music. How many people go to the embassy asking for music? Not so many. Okay. So, you have to think of these courses that are very unique. Okay. Music was interesting when I had that, but M1 visa, mostly flying. But it doesn't matter. Maybe you're coming for a skill in baking. Maybe you're coming in a skill for tourism. It could be, so long as it's not something that they will grade you. So that is a common visa. So far, I've talked about diplomatic visas. I've talked about CID visas. I've talked about M1 visas. Okay. Now let us talk about the H1B visa. Why am I presenting H1B visa? Because I want us to start thinking of visas that will be approved in the United States. Because the embassies sometimes can be tough. Okay. They are very tough to pass. It's very, very tough to pass those embassies at home. And so, in my opinion, it is better to start thinking about visas. You might work a little bit harder, but let the visa be approved in America, so that when you go to the embassy, it's a matter of clearance. It's not a matter of decisions. You understand? Temporary visas, the embassy has the right to make the final decision. You cannot appeal. But permanent visas, the visas are approved in the United States, and when you go to the embassy, it's a clearance process. I want to call it clearance process. They're just going to confirm, who are you, blah, blah. You understand? Is this person the right person? The birth certificate, the marriage certificate, the fingerprints. They just want to make sure it's you who made that application. Okay? So H1B visas, consider any profession. And by the way, Janet is working so hard to find these opportunities. And when I say this, it doesn't mean I'm not working on it. As we speak right now, I'm starting to work on H1B visas. Okay, because I realize that's what most people in other countries have done. Probably they tried these visiting visas, they tried these student visas, and sometimes it's just very, very hard to convince the embassy of the intent of your intentions to come and go back home. But if you can work hard and get a visa that will benefit you, you come, you get education, you come, you also get money. You understand? But the visa be approved in America. In fact, the best will be the visa be approved in America, and not only be approved in America, but attached to a lawyer and attached to an employer. You understand? So we have to start thinking like that. And that is the direction I'm going. You understand? I'm going to the direction whereby, me, I like when I give a product, it works. If I see some failure, I adjust. You understand? I adjust. So right now, I'm working so hard with clients that come on H1B visas so that I direct them. Where is this employer? What can we do to get this visa? And then when the visa is out, it is the employer it's in the American interest that you go to that embassy and take that job. You understand? It's just much easier. So H1B can be, by the way, in many fields, but mostly in fields that they need help. Sometimes we just think it's IT. Okay, H1B can be in education. I've seen H1B in counseling, psychology. I've seen in mental health counseling. You understand? So it could be anything. We just have to keep on expanding the horizon. So I want us to start thinking of H1B visa. especially if you are those people who are very bright, you're smart, probably processes are expensive, but you have some knowledge. Start thinking of this H1B visas. You understand? I'm going to start presenting a little bit more on those ones and start leaving behind the J1 visas. Of course, we are continuing J1 visas. So many people, especially from South Africa, you're in here on J1 visas, aren't you? J1 visa, people from Zimbabwe and South Africa, in plenty. Okay, every region I know. Okay, Kenyans right now, all of them are in CID. They're on the cruise ship. So if you are Kenyan and you don't have a ship job, it looks like you're not working hard. Okay, I'm just telling you because Janet gets everyone. CID cruise ship Kenyans are there in plenty. Okay, J1, Ugandans are there in plenty. People from Zambia, everywhere. J1 is everywhere. I'll be honest, but mostly South Africa. So many people that come to me from South Africa have J1 visas. Young people in their 20s. But if you are jobless and you are Kenyan and you are not on the ship, I don't know what you're doing. You should not be following Janet Rang. I love, keep following. Subscribe. Okay, H1B visas, okay? But we are going to continue visiting visas. We are going to continue student visas. We are going to continue J1. J1 is advantageous because kind of it's a job and also it's attached to an employer. So if you do a good job, you are more likely to get it. Okay, mostly it's employment. And all these visas, you can always come with a spouse. Student visas, I want you to think of unique courses. You understand? I want you to be thinking of a course. If they look at you, you are more likely to graduate. If they look at you, it's not offered at home. Okay, but of course, if you're just a good performing student, of course, student visa, you stand a chance. Okay, of course, the most difficult but the easiest is always visiting. Visiting visa is quick, but the rest of the now are also high. You understand? But me, I'm focusing on those now. Having said that, let's come to the big one. Janet cannot finish the video without finishing the green card. Okay, let's consider green cards, and I'm not going to teach you more about green cards. Janet has done videos about green cards. We all know fiancé visas. Fiancé visas are green cards. Okay, they are considered permanent visas because they already know the intent. Fiancé visas, K1, K2, of course. Okay, I'm not talking about those. Marriage visas, that is an option. Green card lottery, that's an option. Most of you applied. Good luck. May is almost coming. Okay, but right now, we are talking of the EB3 visa. The EB3 visa. I know every year probably they have a limited number, but also they consider these numbers when they're distributing the jobs. You understand? But that is, who are you to say it's you or it's not you who will get it? Okay, EB3 for skilled and unskilled. Right now, the skilled workers, sometimes even me, I don't know, people that tend to get these also have good jobs at home. You understand? Let's say, for instance, EB3 for skilled workers. Okay, all of you, nurses come. You didn't know they come on EB3. Yeah, that's how I came. It's EB3. Okay, employment-based green card. Lab technologies come like that. You understand? Right now, physical therapists, they come like that. But now, unskilled workers, and I've done a video, start considering that. I went on another platform and I said, this EB3, the lawyers are expensive. It's not realistic unless you have some extra cash or you come from a rich family. A few people are upset that I said probably you have to be rich. No, that's not what I meant. I just meant that you have to weigh your options carefully. You understand? I'll give you an example, and I can't mention names. If a client comes to me and they tell me, Janet, I love the EB3. I want to get this EB3 visa. Okay, I will tell them, okay, these are the pros, these are the cons. Let me start with the bad stuff and then we finish the good stuff. I tell them it's painfully slow. Are you willing to wait at home 2 years? Which for me, I will wait. If I know in the end of that, even if it's 3 years, I've seen nurses wait 3 years and eventually they come with their wives and their children. So you have to be patient for the process to work itself through. And mind you, as your patient, you have paid a lot of money. You understand? And some of you ask how much. Lawyers in America, even with a regular green card, let's say you marry an American, a green card will cost you almost 10, 12,000 US dollars. A good lawyer, that is their price. So do not be surprised when people mention EB3 visas up to 15 or 18 or 20,000 US dollars. Okay. It is normal for lawyers to charge. In this case, the recruiters are there. Okay. So what am I saying is it's painful, and by the way, it's in installments. In fact, the first year is like 9,000 because you have to pay the 4,000 deposit, and then after they file, before they file the first time, like now, if you go to get the EB3 visa, okay? You put down the deposit of 4,000 to secure the job, okay? But if you don't get the job, some of that money is refundable. But let's say you secure the jobs will be filed in May and June. So May and June is the second deposit of another maybe 6,000, and that's it for this year. And then that job, after they file, they're filing with the Labor Department. They're not filing with the US Immigration. They're filing with the Labor Department so that the job can stay there, mature. They do scrutiny on the employer. They do scrutiny on the availability. Are there any Americans applying this? Can they look at the tax of this employer to make sure that they are going to maintain the standards? If they usually pay one employee 40,000 per year, they have to pay 40,000 US dollars to this new employee. Why? To maintain the wages, to maintain the standards. You understand? It will stay there almost 8 months. You are not paying anything. Okay. Then after that, now once it matures, you understand, that EB3, I mean, the filing will now move to the other side, which is I-140, petition for a green card. Now, let's say if you gave the lawyer money to put in the Labor Department, and then the Labor Department, they say, no, declined, they will refund that money. You understand? But us, we don't want money. We want us to get to the next step, approval. So once they approve the Labor Department, now the lawyer will take it and say, hey, I-140. That is when the last bit will be due. Okay, the last bit will be due, I think, another 5,000 US dollars. In between, of course, non-refundable fees for government fees. Okay, because it takes time to file for these things, and that money will be non-refundable. Okay, but for the most part, now the lawyer will take it to the green card part, which is I-140. Okay, I-140, if it's not approved, again, that money will be refunded to you. But if it is approved, at that point, you will not get a penny. Why? Once the I-140 petition for a green card has been approved, you understand? That means you will get a green card. It's a matter of time. So you cannot say the lawyer, oh, you did this. At that point, if you don't get the green card, it was on your side. Maybe it was your background, okay, police report, your medical, your history, or something. But generally speaking, why once the I-140 has been approved, it means now your green card is going to line up in the NVC center. Are you understanding how this EB3 is working? So basically, the first year probably 9,000 US dollars, and the second year another 5. But in between, you have to be paying. They want to file I-140. You will pay for that one, I-140. The lawyer is not going to refund because those are government fees. It's like telling someone to repay you for the embassy appointment. You had to pay the government 160 for the DS 160. So there are those forms in between. Those are the ones that make the total amount go up to 18. So you can see it's doable. The only risk is only the initial 2,000 US dollars to secure the job, because the interviews have to be done, resumes have to be processed. Someone has to do that job. That is why 2,000 is non-refundable. But everything afterwards, apart from the government fees, that money is refundable. So for those who are interested, that is what is happening. If you're in the emails, janetrangi67@gmail.com. Okay, I know you have a lot of interest, but I know most of you are just holding on. You are just holding on. Why? Because you're waiting to see if you'll get the DV lottery. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But, okay, those jobs are first come, first serve. I know some of you, Janet, but I'm waiting two more months, and then I'll see if I'll get this, and then I'll see if I'll get this. I'm like, me, I'm not the recruiter. Every day someone pays for that job, the job is gone. If they had 35, now there are 34 jobs left. If they had 30 jobs, now they have 29 left. So it's first come, first serve. You understand? Now, when the jobs are over, it is what it is. They are over. You understand? But I just wanted you to know that EB3 is now an option. If you're outside America, I've spent a lot of time explaining the pain will be the waiting period, the pain will be the money. But if you look at it nicely, that money, there's some reassurance from the lawyer and the recruiter that if each step, if it fails, you get your money back. Each step, you get your money back, which I think is a good deal, because that means now they are guaranteeing you a green card. For those who are here in America, as I've said, students should not think twice. A student who has no way of getting a green card should not think twice. EB3, you understand? That one, they are the ones taking the jobs faster, okay? People on a visiting visa, you've come, you did what the embassy told you to do, you came to visit, but your intent has now changed. Your initial intent was to go back, of course. I will explain to you the right things. But in the event that you want to stay, it's the law. Okay, it's not guesswork. The law allows you to stay. Okay, you can change to EB3. Now, let me be careful here. Let me be careful. All of you who have visas and those who are going to come. Now, I spent with you who are there, but if you come here, okay, understand that if you're here, the reason why it's less painful because there's more financial resources here. Okay, and then when they file these papers and you're a student, you do not have to go to school. Of course, the lawyer will tell you at what point. Don't just say, hey, Labor Department process, let me stop going to school. No, but I'm just telling you that time will come when you do not have to go to school. So you are not waiting painfully like the ones outside. If you're already inside, you start gaining immediately. Not immediately. You start gaining much earlier. Not going to school if you're a student, getting a work permit. When you get a work permit in America, my friends, the green card is a formality. The green card is like a passport. It's a visa. Actually, it's a visa. That means if you want to travel, you need a passport and a visa. Your visa will be what? A green card. But if you don't plan to travel and you are not in a hurry the next 2 years, surely, and you are in America, do you need the green card? It will come when it wants. But if you have a work permit, life goes on. You are working, you're paying back your EB3, you are not even going back to school. You see, everything now is very possible. You understand? I want us to start thinking like that. That is how the whole world is thinking. You understand? Because if you think of temporary visas, they can be very disappointing because they are governed by different laws. Okay. But when you think of EB3 visas, these are things, if you're patient enough, you can make it. Okay. Any kind of green card is good. And I've done EB3 is becoming common, but Janet has done EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5. Employment based. You understand? Even this one, EB5 for investors. It's a long line. It's a long line. That's what people like. You know, everything has pros and cons. The good thing with student, if you go and try your luck, you'll be here very fast. My favorite is student. Okay, you'll be here very fast. Just choose your course wisely. Okay, we are changing strategies. Me, the more I see things work, I change. Okay, like now, we have to know which embassies to take people, which ones are going to give clients more time, and which ones are not going to even give you time. So you have to be smart about your choice of embassy. Okay, things like which course are you going to choose so that you have high chances of getting a visa. So those are little things you can make adjustments with these temporary visas. But the way to go is to let your visa be approved in the United States, and best to be behind a lawyer, US lawyer, and to be behind a US employer. That's usually the best visa. Okay, that is where I think we should start thinking. So never give up. Okay, I mean, just keep on thinking, and you'll be here one day. You'll be here. Okay, and of course, if you're following us for the first time, Janet loves you so much. Make sure to subscribe and come to janetrangi67@gmail.com. You can testify. I'm trying so hard to reply most of you. And by the way, this weekend I might do some classes. This weekend we did a few people, but mostly there were, I think we covered Middle East, Europe, and we covered, a few people. But this week I think we'll cover a group of you also, because I can't come, because I took your numbers, and slowly I will come. Believe you me, even if it's not EB3, we are coming. This time we are making it one-on-one. Because when you come, people think when Janet is calling you, which we will be calling very soon, we've been calling, but now we are going to call. I'm going to bring Joshua. You meet Joshua. Some of you've met Joshua. You like him so much. I'm going to bring Josephine. Okay. Of course, there's Bruce. Okay. And we have a full team. Purity, Purity calls many of you. Okay. Sam is always on that website 24/7. Some of you you've met Ashley. Okay. I hope I didn't forget any of the team members, but I'm just telling you, we'll be calling you. When I'm doing a consultation, people think I'm just going to talk about EB3. That is not true. You can come to me with EB3 and we have a different plan. Okay. I look at your money. I look at your education. I look at your strengths. I look at your weaknesses. And I tell you, you know what? Let us take this route. So, when you're in these things, you have to weigh, because I put myself in your shoes. Okay. The reason why I don't have problems when I fail, the client knows we did our best. You understand? And we still even work with them. There are some who have stayed with us until the second, third trial. Okay. And then they make it eventually. Say, Janet, now I see what you meant. You understand? But there are those who go the first time and God blesses them. You understand? But still, when you are looking at a client, we look at Who are you? Okay, it's not like, okay, let's just run for this. I'm just interested in one thing. No. The first thing is just service and look at you and say, be realistic here. Okay, this one, I don't see you. I think this is better for you. You understand? And I just wanted to give you an example of a client who came with I think $500,000 is how much? Like 5,000 US dollars in the savings. And a very motivated client wants EB3. I mean, I like the motivation, I like the strong desire. You understand? But I said, life is about risks. So if you take 5,000, where are you going to get the other 15? Okay, it means maybe a loan. And how long did it take you to get this 5,000? Is it even fair? Are you gonna willing to wait 2 years and you have a wife and kid? Are you willing to be broke? In that sense, I'm like, no. In my opinion, I think you should explore coming as maybe a student and sometimes even a visitor. You understand? But let's say a client, and that's what I meant when I say, these things are meant for, people have extra cash. But let's say I meet a client who has, let's say, 4 million Kenya shillings, and they do in your currency. Let's say someone who has 40,000 US dollars. That is someone who is doing well. You understand? That is someone, if they have children, it is worth it because maybe they have a 7-year-old, they have a 14-year-old, they have a 16-year-old. Okay, this is something they're investing in the future of 3 children. Or it doesn't have to be the parents, the future of the children. And so I know that if they take away half of that and they succeed, that money will be 100 times multiplied. Do you see? That's how you make decisions. Okay. But if you're really, find another way if possible and work so hard. Okay. And we work with clients very well to see that we do our best. By the way, with time we get more experienced. With time we get more experience worldwide, actually, mostly in the Sunshine Continent. Okay. So now, what has Janet said? Please pay attention to other kinds of visas. If you came in late, we talked about a diplomatic visa. Learn a diplomatic visa. Learn about CID visas. People on the cruise ships. People are not jobless. Okay. Learn about the M1 visas. Know how to come for piloting, special courses. Okay. Know about H1B visas, and know about finally all kinds of green cards, specifically the EB3. And don't forget our favorites, J1 visas. Every day people come. Student visas, every day people come. Student visas now we are doing for the fall. For the fall semester, people are preparing now to come in the fall. You understand? This is when we are doing applications for students coming to August and September. Okay. Visiting visa, of course, is anytime. All right. And J1 visas, again, it just depends when the availability is there. We see people on au pair, they come. If you're out there on J1 visas, don't be afraid. Janet is also helping. I know they thought only I help people with B visas. No, I help people who are on J1 too. They're surprised when they come to me. They say, Janet, you can do it. I'm like, yeah. I can teach you and show you how to change to stay here longer and do other things and eventually get a green card. I'm doing that. Okay. And God has blessed us so far. Okay, those who are staying with Janet, they come for advice. Not even one person has been denied. So we are very, very thankful for that. Every day, I can tell you, I meet clients who are ready to get assistance on how to do these processes. And I like it because we are doing a good job. Not a single person has been denied. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. Come in the comment section. Okay. Hello, everyone. I love you. I will see you in the next video. Don't give up. Okay. And good luck for waiting with the DV lottery. I know that is where you are waiting for. But don't forget these other temporary visas. By the way, if you win the green card, you can always change when you're here. These are the headquarters. I hear that question a lot. What if I start this process? It doesn't matter which process. If you're in America, you're in the headquarters. You do not have to go back. Your green card will be processed as change of status right here. I will see you in the next video. I love you so much, okay? I don't want to go beyond 30 minutes. Good luck. Thank you so much for following. Subscribe.